Welcome everyone into the Smoke and Fire Show. I am your host, Jack Alexander. Alongside me, as always, is Owen Colshaw-Klein, also known as the Owen Effect.
Ladies and gentlemen, we rebranded in the last 48 hours. It was time. We had to rebrand.
And of course, all the way to the right, we have Alex Bean Walters in the building. Let's
go.
What city are you from? I'm going to put in the city now.
Oh, we're gonna put in the city. We're gonna dox me,
or should I just say Charlotte? Should I just say Charlotte? From Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Jack, should we just do if we ever do a live show?
Address, everyone.
Jack, if we ever do a live show, we gotta do NBA player style intros.
Standing at 6'2". You're 6'2", right? 365 pounds. The fat ass out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Owen Colshaw-Klein. Yeah, the draft lottery just happened. I think that at this point it's what, a week ago?
A week,
yeah, something like that.
It's been
roughly.
A week. But now we're gonna get into the actual quote unquote mock draft, the Smoke or Fire mock draft, where we're gonna go. I'm gonna get the first pick. Owen's gonna get the second pick. Alex is gonna get the third, and then we'll rotate.
Rinse and
throughout
repeat.
Rinse and repeat throughout the entire lottery. If you enjoy these types of videos, go ahead, leave a like and comment. Where did we mess up on here? Because there's got to be at least one player that you disagree with. I mean, that just makes sense. So let us know which one you disagree with, and subscribe for more, because we're gonna have Mojo 99 this coming week on Wednesday, and then that's from the guy from the D3 podcast. We're gonna interview him and also do a an expansion draft with him, me and him versus those two. And sometime this summer, Hoop Venue is going to be coming on here as well, so stay tuned for that. But to start off, who am I? I'm getting the first overall pick, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, well, that's right.
This one feels pretty straightforward. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go.
No, think about it.
Shooting guard from Texas. I'm really liking Trey Johnson here. They need a guard.
Wait, you're dead ass.
They said that they're going to go after a guard this offseason. The draft is in the offseason. No, I pick Cooper Flag.
Okay. I was going to say, you committed to the bid a little bit too hard there.
Yeah, I know. I think his fit kind of is seamless, because coming off the bat, I mean, he's 6'9", but like coming off the bat, he's going to be a little skinnier than everyone else. He's 18 years old here. So him being a small forward makes a lot more sense than power forward at the moment.
They said that about Chet. They said that about Chet coming out of Gonzaga, and
yeah, but he's also like 7'1", so he's gonna be
like the same weight. Chet's like 215.
That's great. He's also like 5 inches taller, so he's gonna be a center, or quote unquote power forward, if you want to call him that, because there's not much power there. But anyway, Cooper Flag going in with Anthony Davis would probably be still at the 4, and
Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford.
Probably Gafford starting, because he's got
I don't know
left on that contract, unless he gets traded, and then it's completely different.
Because Gafford wants that bag.
Yeah, he wants that bag, but that's not until next offseason.
But if you could trade him for a longer contract,
yeah, that's by the trade deadline.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think of.
But starting off the season, it's going to be him. But yeah, they're going to go out and get probably who's out in the market right now. Kyrie. Kyrie's injured.
Kyrie's probably going to opt in, because no one's going to sign a guy who's not going to be able to play.
Yeah, he's coming back around sometime in February is what they were saying, I believe.
Yeah.
Just take your time with that, man. Jeez. But anyways, so then what? Russell Westbrook is on the board. I think Chris Dunn might be available for them too, that they could try to go out and get. But yeah, straight up, Cooper Flag.
Yeah,
not really. It's just seamless.
It's not sexy. It's pretty straightforward.
It's very sexy, Owen. That's
sexy. It's a sexy pick, but the analysis. It's a sexy pick, but the analysis isn't sexy.
If you don't go with who I'm thinking for number 2, I don't care. You don't draft for like position.
I'm between two, but I'm gonna. It's not
up to debate.
Yeah,
that's the best player available.
Yes, let's keep it simple. I was gonna go Edgecombe, and I remembered they have De'Aaron Fox there to be a scoring punch for a reason. So you draft somebody who will come off the bench and lead your second unit for the next 15 years.
Or trade him for Giannis.
Doesn't
matter.
Regardless,
or
maybe you sign him or you draft him and you trade those pick rights to the Bucks.
Well, I don't know.
Regardless, it's Harper. Doesn't matter.
If you ask Lonzo Ball, Dylan Harper will be a Hornet, and LaMelo was going to the Clippers. So
how the hell?
I saw that clip.
I don't know. I don't know how they expect that to happen.
Yeah,
he's not dropping that far.
He will either be a Buck in a trade or he will be De'Aaron Fox's backup for the next 10 years.
Well, they could go for anyone.
Here's the thing. He could technically fall that far because I can see the Spurs being like, well, we'll take Ace Bailey because Keldon Johnson's not it. And I could see the Sixers being like, well, we have Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. So we can go with a VJ Edgecombe to replace Paul George. That's the only way I can see it happen.
At the beginning of the drafts, they always go for best talent.
Okay,
then later you go for
usually your top 3 picks are teams that need them. Jack, let's be real here. These are all 3 teams who are going to be in the playoffs. Who would have been in the playoffs this year.
Then you trade him, but he's going number 2, depending no matter who's drafting him.
Yeah, he's either going to be the next Bucks point guard or he's going to back up De'Aaron Fox until De'Aaron Fox physically can't.
I'm not saying he won't get picked second. I'm just saying there's a chance that I could see the Spurs being like, we don't need another guard.
I can't see them either.
I mean, what makes more sense in my brain is if they don't want a guard, you move him for Giannis, and then you have the twin towers in the paint for 82 games.
Yeah,
but
no, I agree.
That's neither here nor there.
He shouldn't fall to 4, but
yeah,
there's a partial world where that could happen.
Yeah, I could see the vision.
We don't live in that world. We can move on to 3 though.
All right, so
the Sixers.
The Sixers, we have one glaring problem. After this year, Gershon Yabusele will be gone, and we can't afford him. And Paul George sucks. So we kind of need some
relax. He's not that bad.
He sucks, Jack. We're not even going to get into it. He's
a starting small forward in the league.
Where?
Starting small forward who gets paid $40 million.
Okay, the contract is awful. I'm not saying the contract isn't bad, but what do you? He averaged 17 a game this year.
Averaged 16 on 43% shooting.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure.
He doesn't really go in the paint anyway.
That's my $45 million small forward, baby.
Bean, I think I know where you're going with this, but I'll let you state it to the people anyway.
I'm trying to decide here.
Dude,
we're gonna go.
Picks so easy. Top 4.
He's such a raw prospect, but we're gonna go with Ace Bailey. He's an athletic freak.
Oh, should be.
He could learn a lot from Paul George on the defensive end. Maybe not from the offensive end because Paul George ain't that anymore. But
he still has the knowledge.
This is generational hate, bro.
I'm just getting.
It's wild.
He let me down, man. I have to dig at him, and then he makes really dumb comments. So yeah, we're taking Ace Bailey. Now, Jack, do not let the Hornets down.
Yeah, Jack. Jack,
the guy who I've been wanting them to get.
Jack, the fate of Bean City rests in your hands right now. At this exact
who's a great fit? Who's just like all the other players on that team?
I swear.
No, what do you need? You need scoring and you need defense.
No,
you
need defense more than anything.
Well, you gonna take VJ, Jack?
Yeah, it's Edgecombe. It's the top 4 is very simple. It should go that way no matter who.
In some order, I'd imagine, but
no, same exact order. It's just depending on what team takes who. But those are the top 4 guys. Straightforward.
Now we get into the weeds.
Yeah, this is where it gets weird. This is where it gets really, really weird.
What does the Jazz need? Or what do the Jazz need?
Jazz need guards because as much as I love watching Jordan Clarkson randomly go for 40 on SportsCenter at 1 a.m, they need a point guard. Because you've got Walker Kessler in the middle. You've got Lauri Markkanen. You don't need every team needs size, but they need a point guard.
They need a guard.
They need a guard.
Just need guards. I think since we were just talking about him, Kneppel,
Too high.
Is that high? Is that?
Concanipple, too high.
I don't think it's too high at all because okay, hold on here. Hold on. Hear me out. All of your draft picks, you haven't really been extremely confident in moving towards the future. Yes or no?
Yeah, fair.
So you go out and get a Concanepple who is straight up. He's a great shooter, something that you also need on a team that doesn't score points. And he's probably one of the most reliable players in the entire draft.
Yes, but I if I'm the Jazz, personally, I'm
you don't need to
prioritizing
take a swing here. It's the 5th pick.
I'm prioritizing a ball handler though, because they need a point guard, Jack.
They need stability, and that's
they've
what
had Jordan Clarkson and Chris Dunn running the point in Utah for like the last 3 years.
They also have Keontae George. Keontae George is
I'm taking Knappel over George all day.
I'm not going to listen to you, Jack. I'm going to take a scoring guard, Jace Richardson. They need a ball handler. I watched this guy backpack a Spartans team that won the Big Ten.
If we're talking about reaches, this is also a reach too.
That's not a whoa.
They're both reaches. At 5?
Jace Richardson at 5 for a team that needs a guard.
Well, yeah, in the mocks, he's late lottery or right outside the lottery.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it's like it's not like absurd, but like,
okay. I was gonna say if you were saying that's absurd, that's a little bit insane.
And mostly fears too.
Yeah, I'm looking for If I'm Utah, I'm taking a scoring guard, and if you want to take
Jazz fashion, they choose the wrong guy moving forward.
Yeah, if you want to take the Illinois guard, who I'm trying to pronounce his name correctly,
Kasparas Yakushonis.
Thank you. If you want to take him, I wouldn't be mad at that either. But if I had a preference, I would go with this guy.
Out of any of those guards, I'm taking Fears.
It's fair.
I don't blame that. Yeah,
I'm not going to argue with you on that one. I just have a preference for legitimate scoring punch.
The Wizards
Fears
are up
the
to
pick. The Wizards, who have gotten absolutely screwed in every draft since John Wall.
I know who I want to go with here. I think. But I'm trying to decide. So I'm looking at this Wizards team, and we've got a big that we have a lot of faith in, and Alex Sarr. We've got Bilal Coulibaly. You can hover over it, Owen.
He's speaking to you.
Because that is where we're going. That is where we're going. Is Derek Queen. I want Derek Queen on the team.
Thank you.
See, that's a fit thing. I think Malawach is a better player, but like as far as fit goes, I think Derek Queen is a better pick.
Derek Queen has higher scoring ceiling than Malawach. Malawach is a defensive.
That doesn't make you a better player.
I think for us, what we're looking at is we are gonna take the guy with the higher offensive ceiling for this team.
Thank you. That's the thing.
Alex Sarr is actually proven to be a pretty good defender.
I agree completely.
So we can afford that.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good pick.
At 6, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think Malawach is going to overall
Jack,
be better.
It's back to you with Zion and the Pelicans. Hopefully still Zion and the Pelicans.
Couple different players that I'm thinking of here. I just want to look at their roster quick.
There's one thing they need, Jack. Come on.
Here, I want to explain my Fears pick while he's looking. A Jace Richardson pick is Jonas is on an Illinois team that grossly underperformed. Granted, they were beat up. I don't think I saw enough from him on their run. Granted, I think they greatly underperformed relative to where they were supposed to be for that roster. But I'm taking a better scoring guy, either him or Fears, over Jonas. Again, maybe if you want Jonas because he's a 6'6" guard, sure, I could see it. But I'm going to take that 6'3" shifty scoring guard personally.
I think a team who picks Jonas is someone who definitely is not winning now and can be patient.
Project. Use him as a project.
Yeah,
I know where I would want him to go personally.
Yeah.
So
Jack,
I'm between two people here. I'm between Concanipple and I'm between Jeremiah Fears.
Really?
Those are the two guys that I'm thinking here.
Jack, mind you, Concanipple was mocked late lottery as well.
I don't think he goes late lottery.
I saw him 10 through 14 in a lot of mocks.
That's great.
Maybe as high as 8.
I don't think he's going to drop that far.
I'm just shocked that you're going guard here.
Really? Why not?
Because the starting center is Kelly Olynyk.
That's great. Yeah. Their future is Yves Missy, and they've been very vocal about that.
That's not an insane direction to go by any means either.
So
I don't hate it. It's just I'm shocked. I'm just saying I'm shocked.
Well, they have gone out and said that's their future. They trust in that a guy like that. And you look at everything else there. Yeah, Kelly Olynyk could come off the bench, but then you have Zion, you have Herb Jones. Some of these guys are more of your bigs. You might want a backup power forward, but at the pick 7, I don't think that's what you're going with. Then you look at the guards, and you're looking at CJ McCollum, who is $30 million on 1 more year. He might not even be there next year. After next year, I should say. And then DeJounte Murray, he's coming off ACL injury, I believe.
Really bad, yeah. Really bad injury.
You need someone either bringing up the ball or bare minimum, like I was saying earlier with the Jazz, I believe, some sort of stability. And that is what Con Kneppel will do for the Pelicans. So with the 7th overall pick, the New Orleans Pelicans select Con Kneppel.
Okay. I don't mind that at all.
I don't hate it. He showed so much during tournament play.
He did. He's mature. He's super mature.
He is. He's great.
So, all right. I'm on the clock with the Brooklyn Nets. Let me take a peek at this roster right here, gentlemen. This is gross. Does anyone else agree that this is just gross?
Sucks.
I think there's a clear pick here, in my opinion. Actually, there's a couple guys.
Well, I think I'm gonna go either here or here, Jack. Is that what you're thinking? No. He's looking at me funny. He's looking at me really funny.
Because here's the thing: is I think Nick Claxton is gonna get moved fairly soon, whether it's the Warriors or the Lakers or one of these, or even the Boston Celtics. They're going to be looking for a center.
Jack, I wonder if the Warriors just go get like a Steven Adams just to say they have somebody on their roster.
Well, that's kind of what we were saying with last episode with Jonas Valanciunas. But they could definitely go center here because of that, just getting that depth.
I mean, yeah, if they move Claxton, Deron Sharp is next up. So
I think Trey Johnson is a pure scorer. I think Fears is someone that you can look at as well for the Brooklyn Nets, simply because you need someone bringing up the ball that isn't named D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the more I think about it, the more I think that they're going to move Nick Claxton. And if you want to go get a presence, I think you go get Kaman Malawak.
Yes, this is a great pick.
I like this because, again, the Nets are kind of just – they need somebody in the middle. They need their – now, I'm not comparing him to Nikola Jokic, but I'm saying that style of presence. You just need somebody back there.
Well, bare minimum, just depth. Depth.
Yeah, you need somebody back there every night. So I think they take him because, again, he's 7'2", 250. I'm not going in the paint there. I'm not going in the paint there. Hell no.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
Bean, you're up.
All right, so we're the Raptors.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
What do you need?
What don't we need?
That's what I'm saying.
Because, man, y'all took Malawak, and that was kind of the guy that we wanted so we can have someone other than Jakob Poeltl, but that's not happening anymore.
You definitely want him to drop. I don't think you go to draft Wolf this early.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Like, there's no centers on the board now that we're even
I'll move down
considering taking. Here. So, we're looking at the fact that Emmanuel Quickley is our point guard.
Which isn't bad. IQ being your point guard isn't bad.
But that's
about
it.
Shut off the bench, too. And you shut off the bench?
My glorious king Paul said.
But, I mean, we're not going to say that he is. This Raptors team has basically made moves that is like, we want to at least stay competitive. I don't know if Jamal Shedd's the guy that you want, but again, I really didn't think that the guard position was their biggest worry. It was their center position, and now I don't have anybody to go with.
Okay, so now you turn tides here. Now you turn tides, and you get a call from the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jamal Shedd's going to be your Lou Dort type, I think. Jamal Shedd's going to be your defensive guard that you're going to go throw on a Jamal Murray or a Anthony Edwards in the playoffs. And be like, don't stop this guy.
Alex, your guy's gone. Yeah. You don't know where to go with. You get a call from Milwaukee.
What do they want?
They want all of your picks first and foremost.
Should we trade the pick?
Are the Bucks calling for this pick?
Not only this pick, but all of your other picks.
Yeah, but like, what are they offering? What are they giving up?
You're going to probably give up Scotty Barnes.
No, what are they giving me? Are you saying they're giving me Giannis for the 7th pick?
They're giving you Giannis
just the 7th pick. No.
Yeah, it's probably
that's another team that has been in the rumors for someone like a Giannis.
Yeah. It might be like a Kawhi type thing where he goes to Toronto for like a year. Not saying he wins a championship, but I'm saying he just ends up in Toronto as like a
Being crazier things have happened.
yeah.
I know,
4
but
months
man,
ago.
I would hate that if I was the Bucks.
Well, if
man.
he wants to stay in the East, which
I
is
think we
a
need
very likely scenario, this is one of your best offers from the
Jack.
East.
I think they have to go center. Jakob Pertl's not your guy.
That's great. What center?
Well, Giannis,
Wolf?
I would take if I'm taking Giannis if that's the option here.
I don't think you.
Because I don't want Danny
Sorber.
Wolf is.
Sorber would be kind of a reach, but I think that's
Maxime Reynaud can stretch the floor. Alex Condon can stretch the floor. I watched them both do it.
Yeah, but those are all.
think
This
you go
is
Sorber
way too early to take any of them.
okay. Then you don't go center. You got to fill.
So that's
something
why
else.
go back to all.
Yeah,
Or
I'll go
just-
with all.
Or you swing for the fences and hope that Trey Johnson is going to be a star.
Add to your 16 shooting guards you've listed. on your roster.
that's the thing. We're gonna stay.
That's
away from
great.
LeBron.
Half of those guys aren't getting minutes anyway.
No, they're not. It's really just gonna be R.J. Barrett and Grady Dick.
Yeah,
Ha.
But
that's it.
we're gonna
you
go
throw
ahead
one of them at the guard or point guard or a small forward.
because I don't know how confident we are, and I'm gonna probably get a little bit of backlash from this, but I don't know how confident we are in Emmanuel Quickly. He's getting paid a lot of money, and what we've seen from him, it hasn't
could
been.
trade him.
That's the thing. We probably are going to look at trading him, and we're going to take
return.
We're going to take a flyer on Kasparas. He's dropped this far, not crazy far. He was projected to go 6, and what are we at? 7 or 8? I don't remember.
We're at 9.
We're at 9.
I was at 8.
So we're going to take the flyer on Kasparas, and we see it's in hope he blossoms.
Because worst case is if he's not your point, if you believe in IQ that much, you can move him to the 2 anyway, or have him come off the bench and run your
because
unit.
Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, one of them is most likely going to be gone soon.
Jack, this you can have a lot of fun with this one. 'Cause you're up at 10.
Hornets. Okay, hold on.
You're up at 10, Jack.
I'm pulling this up on here. The Houston Rockets.
This is gonna be a fun one. I think this is gonna be a really fun one.
Oh my god, no! This is the simplest one ever. Trey Johnson. Take Trey Johnson straight up. Trey Johnson, dynamic scorer.
You can have Jalen Green 2.0.
They don't believe in Jalen Green, so they're gonna try.
They do actually. I mean, they do. They've went out and said that they do believe in him, but have him come off the bench too, like another Jalen Green. But maybe this time this guy blossoms into something that they want. You're swinging for the fences here because you don't have to be safe. You got a great team here. Like there's nothing glaring that's missing outside of just a pure scorer, and Trey Johnson is that for you. So a pure scorer, and you're swinging for the fences for a potential star. The one star that you need is that the closing shot. And Trey Johnson at his peak potential is that guy, 100%.
Yeah. And they don't need more wings because if you look at they can go 3 deep at the 3 and the 4, and you can go 2 or 3 deep, arguably at the center. Yeah, they need a guard would be a higher priority for them. So
what were you thinking, Bean? You're thinking Fears?
See, what I'm thinking is this is a team that's like what you see from a lot of these teams at this point who are like competing is to go for your upperclassmen.
Yeah.
Those that are more developed, more that are ready, because they really at this point don't have time to sit and develop Trey Johnson. They didn't have time to sit. They didn't have time to sit and develop Reed Shepherd. They sent his ass straight to the G.
Yeah, but if we're looking at history, they did draft Reed Shepherd, so it's not out of the question where they would continue to do that because that might be their philosophy. Because they have vets on the bench. They don't need to be safe with this pick because they have a lot of depth.
They do. I mean, I'm not against it.
What I'm saying is what you need to do is you need to hope that you figure out your closer. That is the one thing that stopped the Rockets from beating us, the Golden State Warriors, and that was a closer. And when Jalen Green only does that once out of 7 games, yeah, you have wiggle room. Like someone like the Jazz or the Pelicans, I think they are the ones that need to go safe because they've flopped on most of their picks. Actually, the Pelicans have drafted pretty well. They just need to put it together.
I would just, if I was in the position of the Rockets,
Who would you pick?
Obviously, I was going to go Neat Clifford. Neat Clifford.
Well, being, I regret to inform you, you've just spoiled my pick. The Blazers are going to take Neat Clifford because behind Denny Avdia, you have
that's great.
Hollis Jefferson, City Sissoko, and Jabari Walker. All of them
love them.
That's great. Hey, I'm really liking this draft
Neat
here.
Clifford, get ready to learn voodoo donuts, buddy.
You going? Yep, it's time, dude.
For those of you that are casuals, Voodoo Donuts is a chain in Portland. But yeah, this one's
the most
pretty
random information you could ever come up with.
Don't ask why I know without googling it, Jack. Please don't. But again, this one's pretty straightforward. They need somebody behind Denny Advia, and if they move Denny Advia for some whatever reason, maybe for some more center depth, then you've got this guy. Slot him right in.
Center depth.
He's a senior, and they can go. Well, yeah, they got Klingon and what's left of Robert Williams
and DeAndre Ayton.
They have too many.
He said DeAndre Ayton.
Duop Reith isn't actually bad either.
Yeah, no, he's actually a dog though. Not gonna lie, but we move on.
The Chicago Bulls.
The Bulls. Wow.
Who are they gonna pair with Modest Buzelis?
You know what? Let's bring another guard onto the team.
Yes.
No. Really? Let me scroll through real quick. I got to see at least these up to 20.
What do you mean?
Maybe you go Sorber here.
Oh, scroll through. Okay, yeah, my bad.
You might want to go center here because you're possibly going to trade Vucevic this offseason.
Jalen Smith, respect the goggles, is your next option there.
See, I don't know if we want to go center though because, like, other than Danny Wolf, you have Thomas Sorber. There's no one.
His combine was great. Sorber's combine it was very good.
I saw the. I guess what we're looking at now is we also might want.
Here's the problem.
Patrick Williams replacement.
But hold on. Here's the pro and the con to Sorber. Hold on, boys. Here's the pro and con to Thomas Sorber. There is. You guys mentioned you don't want to spend time like developing a freshman that goes in the draft of one and dones. You could spend the Bulls have time to spend developing him. That's not a roster that's going to win now.
Yeah.
But a con is you probably don't want to spend that time developing him with your Bulls because you're delusional enough to think you can get higher than the 9 seed every year with this roster.
That's the thing. If I'm the Bulls, they will probably take Rasheer Fleming as their Patrick Williams at power forward replacement because Modest has been playing the 3.
Yeah. Boyles.
But they could also take Colin. Yeah, I was gonna say Colin Murray Boyles is a good one.
I like that too.
So you know what? We've already got our guards set.
Are you sure you're confident with all 30 guards that you have, or do you need to add one more?
If we add another one, he'll never get to play.
All 30 guards on the roster.
To be real, they're confident in Josh Giddey. They're confident in Modest Buzelis, and that's probably it.
Also, why the hell do they have THT listed as a depth point guard? That's dumb. Anyways.
So, I mean, to talk about guards, are you willing to go out and try to find a Porsche in a lot full of Chevys?
No. See, the thing is just they are – I don't think they should be confident in their guards, but this team has made it very clear that they're going to bring them all back. So, there's no point to draft a guard here. He will go straight to the G. So we're going to go Colin Murray Boyles. We need something down low that isn't Patrick Williams, who doesn't do anything.
6'7", 245. Yeah, if he puts on another 10 pounds, he's a problem.
We are really banking on this being it because we have nothing. We're confident on our Modest Buzelis pick. That's it. Move on. We're hoping this one works too.
That's about it. I like Kobe White. I like him. I don't love him.
He kind of downgraded this year, sadly.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, Owen, remember when you were saying that Kobe White was better than what's his name? Alex Caruso? Who is that better player? You were saying that was Kobe White, right? We have it on video.
Did I say in general or did I say offensively? If it's in general, that's a stupid statement. Offensively, it's accurate.
because you went on and on about saying that they have a starting point guard. They have continuity.
They do. The Chicago Bulls
You
aren't
used the
going to
word
draft a guard.
continuity. That's great. He also had plus 20 by halftime today.
It's plus 20 by halftime today. I'm Jack. I like the victory lap thing
In the
6 months
in the
later.
semis of the Western Conference.
Yeah, I don't care. Child support man's going to put an end to this shit in like a week and a half. Don't
Hopefully.
worry.
You hope
Hopefully.
so.
So
They had some struggles against Stephen Curry-less Warriors. So
that's just kind of what the Wolves are. Is we play down.
It's true. It's true.
No
You
logical
pay up
reason.
to your competition too, like when they're good.
Anyways, Jack, the Atlanta Mid-Hawks.
I don't know here. I have a couple different ideas. You put
you want me to scroll a little
Boyles,
bit?
right?
Do you want me to scroll a bit?
You did Boyles, right? No, I have it right here.
yeah, Kyler Murray Boyles is gone.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
so
where
he's
we're at
gone.
for the people at home.
Trae Young replacement.
Trae Young replacement. Well, your Trae Young replacement's Dyson Daniels, probably.
Yeah, Dyson Daniels is your point guard. So I wouldn't be shocked if they went guard, honestly.
I think they might need size. Because
are we talking center? I don't wing, Jack.
What I'm saying is I don't believe Capella's he's probably not going to be there much longer. He's on an expiring deal at 22.
He's gone. He's gone.
So he's probably gone. And Yucca Okanu is only 6'8", for a center who is an inch taller than Draymond Green.
Come on.
I think he's a great pick. I think he's a great player, but so what I'm thinking is you need size, and I'm between Sorber and Asai Noel. Those are the two guys that I'm thinking.
Asa Newell.
Who would you guys prefer here?
I would take Thomas Sorber because I think Asa is gonna. His play style is a little too close to Jalen's.
I'd probably go Sorber too. Then again, they're both freshmen, so they're projects. You're taking a project either way. So if we put stock into that.
Okay, so what do you think they need? Because if they keep Trae Young, they're a win now team.
Yeah,
or like trying to win.
He needs a center that he needs a center that he can throw lobs to.
I think you can also look at a backup 2 here and go Igor Denham. That's pretty much a skinnier Denny Advia, pretty much.
Here's the thing: they've got LeVert and Terrence Mann's a serviceable backup point guard.
And they ran Dyson. If they're keeping Trae Young, then they're running Dyson at the 2. Like they did all year.
Yeah, I'm thinking backup. I'm thinking either backup shooting guard here, long term, or
I'd take
a size.
Like,
yeah, because you're gonna need if Capella's gone, and let's say you do start Okongwu, who's your backup center?
Yeah.
So
you
let's
could
go
go
Sorber.
If you're trying to win now, you could go Johnny Broom
with the 25-inch vertical.
Someone who's kind of safe. We'll do Sorber.
Yeah,
that's not a bad pick.
I've got the last pick at 14, and
we all did one so far, so we could all just have like a cohesive pick here and just argue it out.
It's the Spurs.
I want to say this before we get that. When we make this Spurs pick, we're assuming the Spurs didn't ship these picks to Milwaukee in a Giannis deal.
Yep.
We're not.
They got Harper here
for those that are watching. So
they could go wing.
They could go wing. I like Denham here. They like their foreigners, and he's 6'9". I think he has a 7'1" wingspan.
He does have a crazy wingspan.
His standing reach is about 6'10".
Is Dylan Harper going to be at the 2 then? Would you play him at the 2?
He'd come off the bench as a point guard.
Go to
Devin Vassell?
Yeah, either that or Castle.
Okay, I guess
You could also throw Vassell at the 3.
Yeah,
but then where's Keldon going at the 4? I mean,
I'm looking at their small forward, power forward depth.
I was gonna say go to small forward. Go to small forward because
they got to go wing.
McNeely.
I'm thinking Carter Bryant.
In capacity.
I'm thinking Carter Bryant.
McNeely tanked his stock with a bad UConn season. I think that's what's going to throw everybody off.
Yeah, but we said the same thing about Yakashonis, and look at him. He got drafted at
well, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. It's like what do these teams value the previous season?
I think if we're doing a cohesive pick, I'm taking Igor Denham, no question.
Or do you decide to give a little French connection here and go Noah Essengay?
I think that I
Okay.
think that's a little bit of a reach.
I'd probably go Carter Bryant if
When
anything.
if
And
Igor
Carter
Denham is
Bryant,
on,
If
Igor
you're the
Denham is the
Spurs-
best player available here,
If you're the Spurs, wouldn't you just go best available wing at that point? Of the
and
power
that is
forward
Igor
forward?
Denham. That's Igor Denham, straight up. He's 6'9".
Okay.
Shooting guard.
Carter
he's
Bryant,
shooting guard.
6'8", brother.
That's great. We have a shooting guard taller. And saying they love their foreigners.
So it's between Carter Bryant and Danny and Igor Denham.
That's my
which are
pick. My
12th
pick is
and-
Igor Denham, and you guys can hash that out. It's a
Okay,
we
I
got
guess
three
what
people
do
here,
you
so-
want? What do you want? What do you want?
Why are
from
we
our wing? What
ignoring?
do we-
Also, why are we ignoring Jeremiah Fears? If they
Because
want,
they have
don't
like
need a-
12
we-
guards.
And we just drafted Dylan
Yeah.
Harper. We don't need another
you're
guard.
right.
Sorry, Jeremiah.
Well,
Fears
Igor
is a great
Denham's
player.
Are you gonna run Igor Denham at the 3 then, Jack? Is that what you're?
I mean, you could do
Vision would be?
anything here. You could have him as a backup 2, but I would probably throw him at the 3, backup 3, because what do you have as a backup 3? You have Harrison Barnes, probably.
Keldon
Let's say-
Johnson.
let's say
and Julius
Vassell-
Randle.
Sells
Keldon
the
Johnson
two-
and Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, I want more depth there.
Bean, do you have a play like are Demon and Carter Bryant's play styles like? Does it come down to that?
I think it comes down to what are you looking for?
Well,
Igor Denham is. I have.
Think Denny Advia being traded to the Spurs. How does that look?
I would take that over either of those two.
Well, of course, but let's say that he's a rookie coming in. You don't know if he's going to be that good, like a Denny, but like that play style. You throw that as a backup small forward on this roster. I think that's a great pick.
We're trying to capitalize on Wemby. We need to figure out what is it we need them, because 14th with the pick we have, we got Dylan Harper. We don't need to go best of it. We need to go like what is going to be the best for us.
Jack, I would almost argue that they need to go Carter Bryant because you need to put him at the 4 because Harrison Barnes is your only legitimate.
You have
4 on the
Sohan.
roster. Jeremy Sohan, for the love of God, do not put Jeremy Sohan.
And they also have been running. They've also been running Keldon Johnson at the 4 a lot this season too.
Yeah,
So if you have him
at
at the Keldon Johnson and Harrison Barnes, they both have been playing big. So
Keldon Johnson,
you've had
6'5".
Vassell at the 3 as of late. So you need size at the wing,
I guess Igor Demon's
like
6'8"
somewhere
back.
like on the 3-point line. You need size.
Being where are
that
you?
is-
Here's what we're looking at. You've got Igor Demon, who is a decent enough defender. He's not terrible. His shot doesn't hit for shit. So if you want to take that into account, but he does have a lot of upside in playmaking. Or you can go for Carter Bryant, who is athletically more appealing, and he is a better defender. So your question is do you want about middling upside on offense, middling upside on defense as of right now, like what he's going to get in his rookie year? Or do you want the better defender who has a chance to be better offensively, but as of right now is pretty raw in the sense of like what he can do offensively?
Who's quicker?
Who is quicker?
Who has a quicker lateral quickness?
Let's see.
Go with that guy. I think that's what you need on the wing.
Yeah, because we also got to think about who they're
You
going to
have
to
shooters.
guard in the West. You got to think about who they're going to have to guard in the West because the Spurs draft Harper and then one of these wings, they're going to be immediately a 8 seed if Wemby plays a full 70, 80 games.
Y'all keep talking. I'm trying to find the.
You could also go Asai Newell.
Yeah, I mean
That could be your power forward if you're looking power forward.
He's almost a true 7-footer, so there's an argument.
Yeah, and if you're thinking Twin Towers and you don't end up getting Giannis Antetokounmpo, boom.
I see it too. So, but let's figure out this Igor Demon Carter Bryant thing.
Yeah, because we got to go into the other one.
All right, lane agility time. Here we go. I just had them all. Son of a bitch. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Lane agility time for Carter Bryant. 11.25 seconds. This is deciding our pick right here. Where's Igor? Igor? Igor Demon, 11.31. Carter Bryant it is by 0.04 seconds.
Sure.
Bang.
That's cool.
It's the last man in the lottery,
Who would have
gentlemen.
thought that the 14th pick would have been the hardest one to decide?
We
It was
live
really
in
just a
society.
throwaway.
Honestly, that makes sense. That is the hardest. Okay, so Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, Edgecombe, those are straight up what should happen. Jace Richardson is a little bit of a reach, but it's very possible. Jerry Queen, great fit. Kneppel, what I was saying, he's just someone who's reliable, and that's just what you need if you're a Pelicans fan. Malawatch, I think that was that like as far as fit goes, as for
that's immaculate. I'm not
like
gonna
team value. Yeah, that's definitely the pick there. Yakashonis, swinging for the fences there. Him and Trey Johnson. Clifford, I don't really know too much about Clifford. Can you guys say something about that?
I saw him backpack a Colorado State team that was picked near the bottom half of the Mountain West.
Yeah,
to a second round where they ultimately lost to the 6th overall pick because he traveled. So
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Nate Clifford
allegedly traveled, I guess. But
yeah, and Marie Boyles, size, Sorber, size, and well, you guys are the one who picked Bryant. So.
Slightly fast, left to right, as opposed to
really
the deciding factor.
Like
the point, like good defender,
hundredth of a second.
He's what Carter Bryant is. What the Bulls wanted Patrick Williams to be. I'm just gonna put that out there now.
He can be that, yeah. If you guys enjoyed this episode, go ahead, leave a like and comment. Again, what do you guys disagree with? I think I'm pretty 100% on this. I love this personally.
I kind of like, I'm kind of curious to see if we get any of these legitimately correct come draft night.
If you're enjoying these types of videos, also subscribe. And we got a bunch of different videos coming out with Mojo and with Hoop Venue down the line. So stay tuned for those episodes. Those are going to be so much fun. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And the next one is either going to be the conference finals preview. And then after that is going to be the Mojo episode. See you on the next one.